Alright, these are the test corrections for Chapter 7, which is about quadrilaterals on February 5th, 2016. Show all your work in the space provided. Box all your answers. Question number 1 says find the value of x. Notice how x is in the inside or the interior of this hexagon. It has 6 sides. There you see I'm counting clockwise. Therefore, the equation you're using is called interior sum, which is equal to n minus 2 times 180. N is the number of sides, so there's 6 sides. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 times 180 is 720. What you do next is then you add up all of the angles together, solve for x, and you'll get x to be 120. Question number 2 is multiple choice. Compare the quantities in column A with quantities in column B. So essentially you're going to have 2 problems, and then you're going to compare them. Column A says the measure of each exterior angle of a regular pentagon. So here the key word is exterior and also each angle. Your equation for each exterior is 360 over n, and your n is equal to 5 because it says a pentagon. 360 divided by 5 gives you 72. This one says the measure of each exterior angle of a hexagon. Hexagon is 6. So 360 divided by 6 is 60. When you compare the 2 columns, A is greater, therefore the answer is A. Question number 3. In a right triangle, there is an angle that measures 32 degrees. What is the measure of the remaining angle? So if you know that it is a right triangle, therefore this is 90 degrees. Therefore, you're going to put 90 and you have 32. So you can use triangle sum theorem. Blank plus blank equals 180. So 90 plus 32 plus x equals 180. When you solve, x is equal to 58. Choice is D. Question number 4 says the measure of an interior angle of a regular polygon is 120 degrees. How many sides does the polygon have? So in this problem you're working backwards. I've encouraged you guys to do this kind of shortcut. If it tells you each interior angle is 120 degrees, just draw yourself a picture. Draw a line, it's a linear pair. That means you know the exterior angle is 60 degrees. If you know the exterior is 60 degrees, then you can use each exterior angle, 360 over n, and then you're just solving for n here. If this is 60, here you can just cross multiply. 60n equals 360, therefore n equals 6. So it has 6 sides. Question number 5. What is the sum of the interior angles of a polygon n with n sides? So in this question, you're going to have to use this formula. And this formula, n minus 2 times 180, will give you this any interior sum, hexagon, however many sides. Okay? Decide whether the following statements are always, sometimes, or never true. This is where we created the map. Anytime you're going in the map, it's always down, sometimes up. A parallelogram is a rhombus. This case, you're going down, so it's sometimes, because a parallelogram could also be it could be a square or a rectangle. Question number 7. In a parallelogram, the diagonals are congruent. The answer is sometimes. The other one is also a rectangle. Question number 6 says a parallelogram is a rhombus. The answer is sometimes because you're going down on that map. So on your finals formula sheet, you might want to copy that map. For question number 7, in a parallelogram, the diagonals are congruent. The answer is sometimes. The reason why there's also a rectangle. It could be a rectangle. So when you're reading these statements, read them as almost absolute statements. Question number 8, a rhombus is a square. Again, you are going down, so that would be sometimes. Question number 9, in the accompanying diagram, the parallelogram ABCD, the diagonals AC and DB intersect at E. They give you this information. So the information you need to know is that parallelogram diagonals bisect, or they are equal. Well, if you look at your information, it says AE is 3x minus 4. and EC is x plus 12. So essentially what you're doing is you're saying that these diagonals are equal. You'll solve for x equals to be 8. A lot of students solve for x equals 8 and didn't get to the length AC. So you're going to take x equals 8 and put it into AC. So that would be here and here. And when you do that, you'll get AC to be 40. Question number 10. Name the property or theorem. Solve for y and name the property or theorem used. Okay. Notice how all these angles are on the outside. That's called exterior sum, which means if you add them all up together, these should equal 360 degrees. And that means y is equal to 125. On the back side, they give you the shape here. If you recognize that you have two consecutive sides that are congruent, they call this a kite. In a kite, you have exactly one pair of opposite angles are congruent. And you can also use quadrilateral sum theorem to know that this is 360. So add them all up, and you'll get that one to be 50. Question number 12. A regular polygon has 9 sides. Find the measure of each interior and each exterior angle. So when you're doing this problem, I recommend doing the exterior problem first. If you know that has 9 sides, 360 divided by 9 is 40. And then you can just do the supplement of 40, which is 140. If you want to do each interior angle, you can do n minus 2 over 180 over n. The reason why I don't use this formula is because it's a lot longer. Questions 13 to 18. Use the figure below, parallelogram Hijk, to find the missing angles and sides. So HK here, the reason why it's 10, because in a parallelogram, opposite sides are congruent. HI, same thing, opposite sides are congruent. This one says HKJ. If this is 84, this whole angle has to be 96 degrees. They're supplementary. Question number 16, IJK. Opposite angles are congruent, so that's why it's 84. HIJ up here, this is 96 because these are supplementary. Consecutive interior angles. And KG, this is 7. Actually, KG should be, where's KG? KG here, it should be 7. 7, this one's also 7. Diagonals by 7. Question number 19, given that quadrilateral WXYZ below, find the missing angles. So this is a trapezoid because you have one set of parallel lines. It's an isosceles trapezoid because you have two sides that are congruent. So that's why it's called an isosceles trapezoid. What is angle W? In an isosceles triangle, your base angles there are congruent. Angle X is going to be 57 degrees. They're essentially the same because these two are the same, and then you can add all those up to be 360, and that's how you got Z to be 123. Question number 20, in the diagram below of parallelogram STUV, you have this information here. So SV is here, and VU is here, and TU is here. Opposite sides are congruent, set them equal to each other, and you'll get X equals 2. When you get X equals 2, though, they're trying to find the length of SV. So here is SV is here. So you don't need this information there. So put in 2 and get 2 plus 3, and you get SV is equal to 5.